now shoring up that protection.
Yeah, the good news is you're leading on the scoreboard. The bad news is your quarterback doesn't feel like it because you can't protect him. So, David, adjustments in pass protection. Something they were talking about here at halftime.
100%. Just you can't get him hit that much. He's still doing a good job delivering the football, but if you keep hitting the quarterback enough, man, they'll start to see ghosts, they'll panic, and they'll make some of those mistakes.
Offense set on first down. They keep it on the ground to open the third. How about the power there to get it across the 20 and up to the 21-yard line? He's piled up 112 yards on the ground as he gets closer and closer to that magical 1,000-yard mark for the season. 8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with second and short. Handoff to the lone back. And the Hilltoppers get enough to move the chain.
Pound it, pound it, pound it. I might not have that pretty run-pass ratio of 50-50, but if I can run the football like this consistently, if you're not going to do anything about it, you want to be a great offensive coordinator, keep calling the run.
It's first down from back at their own 24-yard line. They go to the ground. At the 35, he's open. Works his way to the 41, and that is plenty to give him a first down.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
Yeah, run the football. You're ahead. You can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the first down on the throw and catch. Ever since they invented the forward pass, the tight ends have been running the drag and getting the first down.
I think it's because the tight ends is so much versatility. You know, they can block and stay in the formation. Or
I think it's 2-something here.
But either way, if the quarterback's patient most of the time, that drag route's going to come open.
Now on the option. The pitch. They'll finally make the tackle, but that option was executed to perfection.
You know, in the modern era of college football, with everybody throwing it, it becomes harder and harder for running backs to put up big-time numbers. With that last carry, though, this guy's got 1,000 yards rushing on the season.
The Hilltoppers will snap it on first and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Keeping his eyes downfield, rolling left. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's second and 2.
Defense is all about creating negative plays, and he does a really good job at the quarterback spot of not taking sacks. Like, that's a great job. He wants to throw the football. The clock goes off. He takes off. He gets a positive gain.
On second down, wants to throw. And they knocked him down almost immediately.
When you're on defense and you get to play outside linebacker, it's about as good as it gets, right? I get to rush the passer just like this and put him on the ground. Then I get to cover in space. I get to move all over the place. Great job by the outside linebacker. The most fun position to play in college football.
Seventh play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Buys a little extra time. He'll try to do it himself. On the nasty move, and now he's got room. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. Tune in to the Ocho. 8th play of the drive coming up. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. Bust through behind his pad. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Hold it, offense.
Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. Quarterback and running back set up in the pistol. They'll try the run. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing game.
Handoff to the single back. Bulls his way forward. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's first and goal from the 7.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
And the Hilltoppers have it in scoring position on first and goal. Used the play fake, now to throw. Took a shot as he threw. He just threw it away. The last thing you want to do is try to force something on first down in the red zone.
That's what this defense has to do, guys. They've got to knock this quarterback down to the ground. He's already thrown a couple of TDs. The only way you're going to stop that is with good quarterback pressure.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He's looking to throw. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Western Kentucky. And the beatdown has ensued. He has been surgical. Precision passing. Using the scalpel, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
And the defense has had absolutely no answer for him. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying this defense.
Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. They face a pretty tall mountain here, Jesse, down 24, but if they're going to climb it, this is a good time to start.
Sense of urgency's got to be big right here. You just get the feeling at this point of the game, David, they've got to score on this drive. Obviously, their defense needs to get stops, but at this point, offensively, they've got to execute much better.
They got to be super aggressive. Down 24, you're going to need 3 touchdowns, 3 two-point conversions, everything to kind of go your way. So fast and throwing the football.
Looking for a big gain. He's got it down the left side. Hit the afterburners, kid. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Tigers. Well, I'm not sure who was closer to the receiver there, the defensive backs or us here in the booth.
That was great execution on offense. Receiver wins the route one-on-one, shows off his speed, gets himself wide open. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that ball. Nice job.
Makes the grab for the two-point conversion as they cut further into that lead. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
25.
On the move from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Hilltopper offense comes onto the field again. You want to talk about a drive where you impose your will? That's what they did, running it down for a touchdown, David.
There is nothing more demoralizing than that for a defense, to be physically pounded, the run.
Trying to burn this defensive back. Brings it down on the right side. Touchdown, Hilltopper. And the route is on. Quarterbacks love receivers that can get separation, but that amount of separation is a little excessive.
I agree, Reese, and I think the defense needs to have a little powwow on the sidelines and talk about what just happened, because that was an absolute busted coverage on the back end. Defense can't keep playing like that.
And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offenses to find themselves as the game goes on. They had some things not go their way early, but they found something last drive, David. Let's see if they can build on it.
Yeah, you just pick and pick and pick until you find that place where you're like, okay, this is an advantage I have. They clearly found that dude. They score here, we're in for a ball game.
To the ground with the back. Fights off a defender. Looks as if Clemson will have the first down.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
Well, tip your hat to the defense getting that incompletion, because that hasn't happened often for this guy. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. Can the defense continue to mix things up, see if they can maybe confuse this QB?
Give him 105 yards on the ground, and that's just another routine day for this guy who's been among the nation's leaders in rushing all season long. From the shotgun, the inside give. At midfield, he's got room. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds. And the Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll try it over the left side. Defense there to make the stop after a pickup of 2 to the 30.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Looking downfield, it's Larson. And he has run out of bounds as they go backwards there and just avoided the contact. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Outside the pocket, lets it go. And that ball is picked off. Bringing it back. He's at the 40. The 20. Oh, that was a terrific return as he takes it to the 9. And they were most fortunate to catch up to him there. He almost turned that into a pick six.
Man, and he had a convoy, too. As soon as he had the ball, he just looked around him. There was just a lot of open green, and he took off. Great job by his teammates on defense, getting downfield and setting up some blocks.
A first down run on the doorstep. Forges ahead for 1 to the 8-yard line. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. He's looking to throw. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. Touchdown, WKU. And the stomping has commenced.
How about the day for this young fella? That's a 4-game stretch. Nope, 4 touchdowns in 1 game. He has been the focal point of this offense, and he has not disappointed.
And he puts through the extra point. They didn't have a whole lot of real estate in front of them when they took over possession, but they wasted no time. Couple of plays into the end zone. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. That last drive was
Like Jada doesn't need to turn 14. 13 was enough.
And he can't escape, and down he goes.
If I had told you that one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football was going to have less than 200 yards passing in this game, you might not have had that on your bingo card, but that's what's in fact happened. This defense has done an outstanding job getting pressure on him like they did right there, getting the sack.
And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
It's pretty obvious. This defense came into this one knowing they were going to have to play a complete game until there were zeros on the clock, especially against this quarterback. You cannot take your foot off the gas, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Late in the fourth quarter, they're still bringing it, and they get another sack.
Clemson will send the punt team out. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. Here comes the Western Kentucky offense back onto the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. They'll try the left side. Hard running there.
Yeah, another good run. I feel like we can put that on loop, Jesse. Just another good run, another good run, another good run. Over 150 yards on the day. He's been the complete package, showing off all his skills today.
This feels like 4-down territory, 3rd and short from the 40. To the ground to try to move the chains. He just needed a yard on 3rd down, and there just wasn't any room to pick it up. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try to pick up the first. Dragged down to the turf, but not before getting the first down.
I love offensive play callers that are aggressive. Going for it on 4th down, check. In your opponent's territory, now here's an opportunity where you might be able to be aggressive again and take a shot.
They'll give it to him again. He'll take 4 yards on 1st down every time, 2nd and 6.
And it's just simple. Simple 1st down run, showing your physicality, setting your offense up in a good spot.
After the productive 1st down play, it's 2nd and 6. Wide receiver coming across in motion. He's looking for a man on 2nd down. Caught over the middle. It's Stewart. They'll wrestle him down just short of the 1st down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one. They'll snap it from the 28 in field goal range, but it's 3rd and short. To the ground to try to pick up the first. The Hilltoppers will move the sticks.
3rd inches, everybody knows what's coming, but it's so dang hard to stop, and you better get penetration with that defensive line. They didn't do a good enough job. Running back falls forward and does his job.
And the Hilltoppers are on the move. He's going to pass. And it's an incomplete pass over the middle. Let's see if they go back to the air on 2nd and 10 from the 28. On the option. Now the toss. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling for the 1st down.
Fresh legs, man, and it is showing. Of course, this team had the bye last week, and you're seeing it right now late in the game. Running the football, imposing their will against the defense that looks tired. Of course, they had to play last week, and you're seeing that.
Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. The defense grabs it, and they're going the other way. And they'll get him down after a solid return.
You know, as quarterbacks, you've got to be good in the pocket. Even when things are collapsing and you've got guys swiping at it, you've got to have 2 hands on the football. Didn't do a really good job of ball security there, and that led to the fumble.
Good job to toss that ball out of bounds and avoid the loss.
At this point of the game in the 4th quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. From the 33, it's 1st and 10. He's looking to throw it. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the fourth quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. Trying to get to it. Fires and picked off. Got some room to run. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
And how about that? That's the first INT for this guy. Like, he's gone all throughout this year, taking care of the football, making plays, really, really building trust with his offensive coordinator. First mistake. Hey, listen, put it behind you. You've had a great season so far, young man.
And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. They'll give it to the back. Keeps it moving for a 3-yard gain to the 24. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On 3rd down, going up top. Quick completion on the out route. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Hilltoppers will have it 1st and 10. Leaves it with the running back. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands.
Holding. Offense.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Line gets set, 1st down. Going to the running game. Oh, it gives him the tough, stiff arm.
You know what? Everybody gets energized on the whole football team when you got running backs that fight for extra yards and breaks tackles. It's awesome to watch. Everybody literally gets a little jolt of energy because that guy continues to fight for everything he gets.
They'll run it to keep this clock grinding. And they'll pick up the 1st down and mark it at the 47.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the 1st down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that 1st down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
With jet sweep pass. Makes his man miss.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over.
We got 2 minutes left. I'm trying to run out the clock.
It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of the spot.
Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. How aggressive might this play call be on 3rd and short from the 46? Trying to pick it up on the ground. They've got it inside the 40 at the 39 as they pick up the 1st down.
This guy's been special today. Coming into this one, they thought they had an opportunity really to get him going, running the football, and he has delivered. You've seen the speed, the vision, his ability to break tackles. Well over 100 rushing yards in this game, and that's why they have a nice lead here late.
Here's the handoff. And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
And there's nothing more frustrating than when you get late in the game and you know they're running the football and you don't stop. It's been that kind of day for this defense. They haven't played well. They're going to have to go to the well. They're going to have to figure some things out. Practice this week, I can promise you, will not be a lot of fun with these coaches.
40 seconds left. Or you already started one.
Keeps it on the bootleg, looking to throw. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. Trying to escape and get it himself.
Did Charles stay or Charles leave?
There as he saw some daylight and got what he could.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
Well, look what we have here, guys. After all the early season doubts, these guys have put together a winning streak.
They sure have. And, man, they're just believing in themselves.